Right, so we're backstage at the Ritz with Jon from the Dead Daisies. I'd like to ask you first is, for those people that have maybe just hearing your music now or not known you, can you tell me what the Dead Daisies, who they are and what they're all about?
Well, we're originated out of Australia with myself and my guitarist, rhythm guitarist David Lowy. We wrote a bunch of songs and recorded an album, which is the Dead Daisies debut album, and from that we sort of got heard in Australia and were offered the ZZ Top tour and Aerosmith tour of New Zealand and Australia, and so we put a band together, and then we got offered to tour in America on the Rockstar Energy tour with Jane's Addiction and Alice in Chains, and then from there we got asked to come to the UK and play with Black Star Riders, formerly known as Thin Lizzy. So it's been a pretty whirlwind, sort of crazy sort of last 12 months, but been really a lot of fun. Obviously getting out there and playing all the new music to new people, and it's been really exciting.
So there's quite a few decent musicians within your group. It does change lineup. Is it a settled lineup now, or is it still in transition wherever you go?
No, David and I, the obviously with the sort of the staples. It's our band, but and everyone has their day jobs. I mean, Darryl Jones, he's playing with us, and he plays bass, and he's playing with the Rolling Stones for the last 20 years. So he's got to go back to his day job. And certainly, obviously, when they finish up, we'd love to have him back. I'm sure he'd love to come back. And Richard Fordyce and Dizzy Reed have played with Guns N' Roses, and they're going out in March. So we've got the boys until then, and it's kind of one of those things where it's we're all friends, and because it's like a new band with new music, and it's sort of a fresh kind of vibe. Everyone's kind of into it, and we did some writing in New York at the end of the last tour, and recorded a bunch of songs. We're playing 3 new songs live tonight, so with this particular lineup, it's just sort of progressing in that creative direction, it's just one step at a time.
So you're on tour, as you said, with Black Star Riders. You're on the back end of the tour now. You have a few gigs left. How have you found it? Have you had a really good time going around the UK?
I had a great. I mean, the people who come to the gigs have been really warm and receptive, and we've been it's been a really good tour. Bloody freezing, coming from the sun in Australia.
That's England for you, isn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
Cold welcome.
I know, but it's kind of it's kind of for me as the singer, I've got to stay rugged up and not get a cold or a flu or something. But even if I did, it wouldn't stop me anyway. No, it's been a great tour, and just fun to be out there playing to new fans, I suppose, people that haven't seen us before or known anything about us. Seen us and gone, oh, okay, well, that's cool, dig that. So if you win them slowly but surely, hopefully.
You gave your album away in November's Classic Rock magazine. Has that helped on the tour? Have you found that people are actually singing along to a lot of these songs? Actually,
yeah, and certainly coming over from Australia, not really having any idea of whether people even knew us. It's been really sort of awesome to have the support of classic rock, and certainly Planet Rock, the radio, and and everyone's been really supportive, and it's really kind of cool to see people singing your songs, because you don't expect to be even known. So every night you get on stage, it's kind of like it's a war of attrition as far as just doing your best, and hopefully people like you. They're here to see the Black Star Riders, and they hopefully leave going, oh well, the Dead Daisies were pretty cool too.
Well, even so, I've noticed on your social media that you're very active. Is that a big part of pushing the band out there?
I think it's very necessary nowadays to have that sort of platform, just so that people can just log in whenever. I mean, everyone's the whole world is online, so it's good to be able to just if I hear about someone, I'm going to go online and find out about them. So you find out pretty fast whether you like them or not, and you just click on.
Yeah, it's but saying that a lot of bands are not as active with fans, because I've found, especially on the Facebook and Twitter, it's very engaging. So rather than just posting we're playing a show here, like pictures of schools and whatnot. So is that important to you to connect to the fans? Because some bands around that's not quite as important, but is that something that?
I think it's really important, especially when you come from Australia into the other side of the world. I think it's good to have somewhere where people can go and find out about you and hear the music and make up their own minds. I mean, people will always make up their own minds, but I guess with the Dead Daisies, if you actually kind of like it, then if you come to a gig, then you hopefully you'll really like it, because it's really comes into its own live, because it's just straight ahead basic rock and roll, and you can never capture that energy on record. It's always about the live thing, and that's coming from the tradition of even Australia, the pub rock thing, where it was all about life. It's with great bands like AC/DC came out of In Excess and Cold Chisel and Midnight Oil. All these great Australian bands come out of that, and that's how I grew up. Got to show up and do your stuff.
So finally, future-wise, you've finished here, like I said, in a couple of days. You're off to Jerusalem next, is that right?
Yeah, we're going to Ireland. We've got Dublin tomorrow, then Belfast on Sunday, then we go to Israel, playing Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And that's a kind of a weird one, but once again, it's just one of those things where you get an opportunity and you go, well, shall we or shan't we? And I guess because it's we're not sort of bound by anything, I suppose. These people, we're just taking every opportunity as it comes and having a crack.
So next year, another album. Will you be coming back to the UK also? Is it like a headline tour or any festivals or anything?
We'll definitely come back to the UK next year. I don't know, I don't know about headlining. I mean, it's who knows. But we'll definitely come back and play a lot more gigs. Hopefully, be a bit warmer. But we go from here. We get back to Australia, and everyone goes back to wherever they come from, and then February, March, we're actually performing in Australia. And then we'll probably, certainly get back over here and back to America.